was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing asses. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. A chubby nigga on the scene. I used to have the tray deuce and the deuce in my bubble.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Actually, gonna do a video for you guys today. It's a kind of video I usually don't do, and that's a best of in a genre video. So this is my 5 favorite amber fragrances in my collection, and the reason why I'm sort of loath to do these best citrus fragrances or best oud fragrances or best amber fragrances, because I don't really feel like I have a collection big enough to be like, oh, here's my favorite. I guess within my collection I do, but not make a declarative statement. So like, I know that like, hey, here are the 5 best in my collection, but like, I don't want that to be construed as I'm telling you the 5 best amber fragrances you can buy, because I know there are better ones than what I have. I have samples of better ones. And I just think it's a waste of time to sort of get into all that. So I'm just going to tell you the best 5 that I feel like I have in my collection. And what I sort of look at as an amber fragrance is if there's resin and vanilla, and the resin and vanilla are dominant, and that's mainly what you smell, then I'm going to consider that an amber fragrance. So let's get into it. There's going to be 5, and I have actually 2 honorable mentions. Didn't want to go crazy with the honorable mentions, but when I actually went through the collection, I just had to put these 2 in. I didn't really feel like I could do a top 5 without them. So let's get right into it. The first one is from Hermes, and this one's called Anarchy. And the reason why it's not in the list, but I'm including it, is because I don't really know if it's an amber per se. It does dry down to something resinous, and there's definitely some vanilla in here. But to me, this is just sort of more of a gourmand. There's tobacco, blonde tobacco in it. There's a lot of spice. It just doesn't remind me really of a stereotypical amber. But it's a huge compliment getter, and if you're actually being fair, it is an amber fragrance because resin and vanilla are there. And I actually haven't worn this one in a long time because I wore it so much for a while, and it's pretty expensive for what it is. I think it's like $240 for 100 ml, and people just always are really wanting to know what I'm wearing when I wear this one. So I love it. Super happy to have it in my collection. It's actually the only from the Hermes line that I own, but I'm not like, as an amber fragrance, I think it's just better as a fragrance than an amber fragrance. So that's honorable mention number 1. My second honorable mention is from the house of Stefan Humbert Lucas, and this one is from his it's just Stefan Humbert Lucas series, and this one is called 777 Black Gemstone, and this one is like, man, like, it smells like a burning rock, like literally, like someone burnt a rock, took a, you ever see Game of Thrones, and like he burnt the gold and threw it on the dude's head, and he said, now you have crown of gold, and like that Dothraki language. Well, imagine you took a rock and you did that. You put like a bunch of rocks and vanilla in a some sort of a cauldron and lit that on fire and poured it on the Viserys's poor bleach blonde hair, like that. Well, not poor, he threatened to rape his sister, so I guess like he kind of deserved it. But like, that's what this smells like, and I really like it, but it's super hard to wear. In retrospect, probably wasn't the best way to spend $350, just because it's just hard to wear. Like, it's really hard to wear. It's a great fragrance, and the bottle's amazing, and I think it smells good, but it's hard to pull off. And I don't know a lot of people around me that really like this one, but it's a great amber fragrance, and I actually am happy to have it in the collection. I wouldn't sell it, but difficult to pull off, so I can't really put it in the top 5, but I do think of it. Black Gemstone is a really good amber scent. So number 5 is from the house of Giorgio Armani, This one's called Umbra Eccentrico. Oh man, I love this one. This one is like peaches and plums and even apricot. I get some of that stewed down, like if you stewed this down and then you sprinkled some vanilla and cinnamon in there and you had a little bit of resin to just sort of balance everything out and not let it go too sweet. That's Amber Eccentrico. It's a super wearable amber fragrance that's gourmand, and it almost becomes more of a fruit fragrance than an amber fragrance, but I think it's really good. Again, wearable, great compliment getter, just really good quality as well. So number 5 on the list, Ambra Eccentrico from Giorgio Armani. Number 4 on the list, my favorite, far and away my favorite powdery amber fragrance. Oh my god, guys, we're smelling this now. Oh my god, it's so good. So this one is from the house of Maître Parfum et Gantier, and it's called Umbra Precio, or Precise Amber. Just a really nice amber scent, but just take an amber fragrance and then just sprinkle baby powder all over that amber fragrance, and literally that's what you have. Like, you can either get Amber 114 or this by Heusler Parfums, or this guy, because they're almost 99% the same fragrance. So either one you want is going to do well for you. It's going to get you compliments. It's not going to be overwhelming. It's a great starter amber fragrance. I think you can get this for like 70 or 80 bucks online. Just so nice, really cool bottle. And again, the man who created this line, Jean-Francois Laporte, is the man who created niche perfumery, really, when he started L'Artisan Parfumé in 1978. So amazing fragrance, and that is going to be my number 4 pick for my favorite amber fragrances in my collection. Number 3, this guy actually wore this one today. This is from the house of Performa Empire. It's Ambre Rouge. And guys, this is a hard core, gritty, dirty amber fragrance. It was inspired by the opulence of the Russian czars. So like, you have champagne, you have vodka, you have Russian tea, you have Russian leather. Just so much going on. It gets super sweet. It's harsh at the top. You have to get through that harshness, and then it's going to sweeten up on your skin, and the tea's going to pop, and the booze is going to pop. A little hard to wear. It's not as hard as Black Gemstone, so like, you shouldn't be scared of it, but it's intense. It's an intense amber. It's not like a super animalic amber. So you don't have to be like scared like that, but I would test this one before buying it, because I don't think it's everyone's cup of tea. There were a couple times when, I was with my parents, and I would wear this, and they'd be like, oh my god, that's like, what's going on? Like, so like, you just be a little bit weary of this one. Definitely not as tough as Black Gemstone, but still a heavy hitter. Number 2 is from the house of Andy Tower, and this one is from the Flash series. Easily could have been number 1, guys, to be honest with you. This one is Amber Flash. So if you're a fan of Amber Absolute by Tom Ford, which was recently re-released, I think it's a little bit different. It's not that different than the original. That's a pricey frag. I think it's like $220 for the 50 ml. If you want the 100 ml, you're gonna spend $300. I think this is really close. And it's $60 for 30 ml, and it's just like a super animalic, really resinous amber. It's an amber lovers amber. I don't have any of the Serge Luton ambers, like Amber Sultan or Araby, or they probably would have. Some of them probably would have been on this list, but this is as good as any of those, in my opinion. And again, it's $60, so like, you know what I'm saying? I think you get one of the best ambers in the world for $60, so don't sleep. And then the best amber for me in my collection, and it shouldn't come as a surprise to you guys, like a blind buy, and a masterful blind buy by me, maybe one of the best ever. This one is from what I consider to be the most overpriced house in the fragrance community, Rasha Parfum. This one, though, Amber Extra, is worth every red penny. It's like 3 fragrances in one. You get your barbershop fragrance in here. You have like a lavender note and like powderiness, and then you have like this beautiful gourmand tones in here. There's like something very sweet and edible, and then you have an amber fragrance at the base. So it just goes through these different stages. It's super wearable, it's smooth, it projects, it lasts forever. It might be the smoothest fragrance I've ever smelled. I can't lie about that. Like Raja Dove, man, like, you know, I love the fragrances. I just can't really justify buying some of them. You know, I got this one on sale when he was doing the outlet thing online. It was still sort of pricey, but you know, this is probably top 5 favorite fragrance for me of all time at this point. You know, maybe top 3. It's just really a great scent. It's a great amber scent as well. So guys, those are the top 5 ambers in my collection. There's some other like top you'd want to see me do in my collection, I don't know, top citrus or top oud, or you know, I think we already did like work scents, and I did macho scents, so I don't want to do repeats. But if there's something you'd like to see, you know, let me know, and if enough of you bug me about it, I'll probably get to it at some point. But I was inspired to do this one today, and I hope you enjoyed these. And definitely in the comments, let me know what's your favorite amber fragrance, because I would love to know what I'm missing. I really think this is a great sort of what's the word I'm looking for, great array, in that like there's just difference. There's gourmand, there's powdery, there's animalic, there's daring. There's just a very wide sort of range of amber fragrances. But I'd love to know what your favorites are, and of course I'll see you again real soon with more videos, guys. You know what it is. My name is Maximilian. I must know. Peace. Thanks so much for watching.
Mac in my knapsack, lounging black, smoking sacks up in accent sidekicks with my sidekicks, rocking fly kicks. Honeys wanna chat, but all we wanna know is where the party at. And can I bring my gat? If not, I hope I don't get shot.